physical therapist. I know you're up there. Hey, let's move it. Okay, move it. Arms up, up. Oh, can't use your arms. Okay, let's see. Use your head. Up and down and up and down and side and side. Oh, can't use your head? All right, then use your eyebrows. Up and down and up and down. Can't use your eyebrows. Let's use your mouth. Wow, let's sound some sound with that too. Wow, 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 wow. Excellent. Okay, move it or lose it. Working up a sweat is a good sign, everybody. Yes, okay, now give yourself a hand or a foot or a whatever. Okay. That was Nancy, my favorite physical therapist. She was the first of many endearing and totally annoying characters that I met in my journey of healing from a very serious injury. My name's Barbara Leigh. I'm a co-founder of Milwaukee Public Theater. I'm here to share more of my story about how humor helped me to deal with a painful and life-changing accident and to kind of be your cheerleader and encourage you to tell your own stories, because that's how we really connect and that's how we can feel like we're part of everybody. Now, I have jokingly said that working as a mime clown for 20 years was the best possible preparation for trauma. But in my case, it's really true. In December of 1987, I was injured in a very serious car accident and was paralyzed from the waist down. I've been learning a lot about healing, but not necessarily cure. And now it's been almost 36 years and I'm still at it. And having a creative sense of humor has been infinitely helpful in dealing with all of these years and all these traumas, but now especially this whole COVID thing. It surprised me to realize in retrospect that what has helped me the most in this healing process has been what I learned as an artist. Studying mime, creating theater, respect, paying attention to everything as an experience, as an opportunity to learn something, to grow, including, of course, the sense of humor. I have really, especially when I feel boxed in and I don't know what to do, respect. My teacher would always say, respect comes from the Latin spectare, to look. Again, if you find yourself not knowing where to go, what to do, keep looking again, and really learning and finding new ways to get around things, to get above things, to get through things, to get in or out and away. Yes, it's really been so important to me. I have to admit to you that my experience of paralysis was terrifying. I was brought in by an ambulance to a hospital in Watertown, and 5 different doctors stuck pins in my legs to see if I had sensation, and I didn't. And I was terrified. My legs are spasming like wild horses out of control. And I felt like, no, this was not happening to me. My first instinct was denial, and fear, and pain, and just the anger and sadness. I thought my creative life was over. But I was so fortunate. My friends and family and the Froedtert staff, they wouldn't let me forget who I had been. And together they helped me to transform my environment. Gradually they showed me that there were still some choices open to me. And eventually I was able to apply the creativity that had been so much a part of my life. And that first experience of terror became a source of dramatic humor, as you'll soon see. Now, I remembered a story that our theater company used to do in our medicine show, the story of Norman Cousins. You probably don't remember Norman. He's probably way beyond your time. But hey, Norman was a very powerful man. He was the editor of the then Saturday Review. And he became deathly ill. And the doctors didn't even know what to do with him. They couldn't cure him. They couldn't do anything. So he decided to try to heal himself. So he had his friends bring in a film projector at the time. This was a long time ago. And bring in some movies, Candid Camera, Buster Keaton, the Marx Brothers. I made the joyous discovery, he wrote, in Anatomy of an Illness, that these 10 minutes of genuine belly laughter had an anesthetic effect. It gave me 2 hours of pain-free sleep and enough energy to research his disease. Well, the only negative side effect to all of this laughing was that it disturbed the other patients. So he moved out of the hospital and into a hotel room where he could laugh twice as hard and half the price. And he eventually healed himself through massive doses of vitamin C and became adjunct professor at the UCLA School of Medicine. Now, his writings of how his experience of laughter changed his life made the scientific community take laughter more seriously. Now, remembering that story totally inspired me. After the initial shock, pain, and horror of being paralyzed in the hospital, I was relieved to notice that a lot of things still struck me as funny, like being horizontal. I could look up people's noses. And there were all these amazing characters in the hospital. And the bizarre images I had on morphine. Man, so much material for theater. I gradually began to apply humor to my legs. I noticed that they had different personalities. My right leg was totally wild. My left leg was not so crazy. I named the right one Frisky and the left one Feisty. I could choose to keep them in the family, even if they felt so alienated. You know, in OT, my therapist suggested that I make something like maybe a model airplane. And I said, well, how about a pair of puppet legs? And she enthusiastically agreed. She brought in a pair of pantyhose, some stuffing. We put some of those stiffeners in for my feet, for my shoes. And, you know, this was so inviting for me, so amazingly change factor for me. I felt like things were possible now. I mean, I could dance with my puppet legs, even if I couldn't dance with my real legs. And it got me started thinking that maybe I could even create a whole show about this. I'm going to show you a little example of my legs using a little different technique from my puppet legs. Ring, 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 ring. Hello, left leg here. Left leg trying to reach the brain. The right leg. Anybody there? Oh, I'm getting excited. I'm gonna spasm. Oh, I hate that. Ring, 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 ring. Hello. Right leg here. Right leg trying to reach the brain. The left leg. Both lines down. Well, I've always used the central nervous system before. I knew I never should have switched to sprint. I find when I'm really miserable, I start to feel better when I make fun of the situation. In maybe gross or extravagant ways. Somehow that helps me restore my balance. My favorite nurse had a great sense of humor. She actually wanted to be a clown, so I taught her how to juggle. She'd be wafting scarves while I would be playing my accordion. She even applied her humor to things like bladder control, which, being paralyzed, I did not have. Now, this is a serious subject. I mean, it's one thing to lose your legs, but to lose your bodily functions, I mean, really. So she said, Barbara, do you want to learn how to cath yourself, or do you just want to explode? Really? So we actually laughed about that a lot, and I thought, you know, we should put bladder control into the show. So here we go. Welcome to Incontinental Airlines flight number 1. There is a flight number 2, but that one is usually delayed. We are about to take off, so please make sure that your seats are in a secure and uptight position. Now, please pay attention. We're expecting a lot of moisture along the way and a lot of turbulence. So pay attention and note as I point out the entrance and the exits. Now, there will be no bowel or bladder control on today's flight. In the likely event that you do encounter a full bladder, a catheter built the from the ceiling panel. Now, please insert the device as illustrated on the card located in the seat pocket in front of you. First, cleanse the area using an iodine swab. Then open the sterile packet and squeeze a small amount of KY jelly on that catheter tip. Don't touch that catheter. Now, don the sterile gloves, making sure you don't touch those gloves with your dirty little hands while you are putting them on. For those of you traveling with children, small children or children of any size for that matter, please insert your own catheter first before assisting others. Now, on behalf of, in the unlikely event of large liquid volumes, your seat bottom converts to a flotation cushion. Thank you for flying in Continental. Yes, there were still opportunities to laugh in the hospital, especially if you've been in the habit. So, if you find yourselves laughing at some kind of bizarre and serious things, so many people are dealing with pain and suffering and trauma, have an amazing and dark, warped sense of humor. Like, any of you like John Callahan, for example? If you haven't read or seen him, wonderful artist. He's a cartoonist from Portland who did funny things, like funny cartoons about unfunny things like suicide. Frosty the Snowman holding a hairdryer to his head. After I got out of the hospital, I actually started to research the healing effects of humor in dealing with stress, but who am I to tell you about this one? A member of the medical profession can do it. So now I would like to introduce you to one of the world's leading doctors in stress management. All the way from Paris, France, let us welcome Dr. P.B. Babette. Bonjour, I am Dr. Babette. Thank you so much for inviting me here to speak with you today about humor is a ticklish business. Yes. When do we need humor? How do we bring it into our lives? Why do we need humor? So many questions. Oh, so little time. One reason we need humor in our lives is to deal with stress. Now, how many of you find yourselves in a little bit of stress sometimes? Yes? Yes? Oh, that is wonderful. Oh, not for you, but it is very good for my job security. Yes. So, how many of you like to smile? Good. Smiling is very good for stress. Dr. John Diamond tells us smiling helps to strengthen the thymus gland, a very important contributor to the immune system, because the zygomaticus major, those smile muscles, are linked to the thymus gland. And that is so vital to your health. So we will not believe him. We'll try a little experiment. You'll just draw a smile on your hand and put it on your face. Ready? And yes. How does that feel? Take it off, turn it upside down, and now put that on your face. And see how that feels. So, did one feel better than the other? Of course. So, turn it up again, and now we're going to play a little smile with me. I'm going to pop the smile out of my hand, onto my face. Anyway. Oh, yes. And now, we're going to do it with you out there. Ready? So, I'm going to take my smile. I'm going to toss it to one of you. You're going to toss it to me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I caught it. Thank you. Smiling can be catching. So, and if you still do not believe me, I will tell you the testimonials here. Waitresses say it pays to smile. We make bigger tips when we do. And in hospitals, patients report that smiling nurses help me heal quicker than non-smiling ones. And thieves who rob 7-Eleven stores, they said, hey, I can't rob them clerks that smile at me. So, if smiling is good for you, what about laughing? You know, we will try it. Just try imitating me for a moment. This is my best friend in the high school. Try this, come on. when you're laughing, let me tell you, what you have done for yourself. Your cardiovascular system is exercised as your heart rate and blood pressure rises, then falls. Your heavy breathing, good workout for your respiratory system. Your muscles release tension as they tighten up and then relax. Constipation relief. And yes, all those little endorphins. Yes, opium. Free drugs! So, maybe we can all say, yes, laughter can be good for you, but sometimes there are reasons why we don't go after laughter, huh? The trick, as with any medication, is in the timing and the dosage. So, there are some forms of humor that are more healing than others. How many of you have ever been made fun of? Put downs, sarcasm, ethnic humor. These are toxic forms of humor. They separate us. They do not bring us together. But laughing with another at a painful target can bring us together. It can help us to connect. In India, you know what they do before work? They get together and they just laugh. They just laugh. No jokes, just laughing for maybe 10, 15 minutes. And then they go about their day and they feel so much better. Yes. And crying. How many of you feel like crying? We need to cry. I myself prefer laughing. There's less cleaning up to do afterwards. I'm sorry, time is almost up here. Thank you so much. You have been a wonderful audience. Just please remember to keep a little laughter in your life, and I will feel like I have done a little bit for America. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Babette. I so appreciate being invited to be part of your day here. Friends, family, healthcare workers, and my artist friends. They've given me so much love and support, and I hope I've been able to give a little bit of that back today. I've been given so many techniques to take care of myself and a lot of laughs. To me, still, one of the most important things is to never take ourselves or a situation for granted. Respect, keep looking again. Don't ever have fixed expectations because the unexpected is always with us. Like, for example, this cane. When I was in the hospital, my doctors told me, Barbara, you're completely paralyzed from the waist down, so don't expect to get any return of function with your legs. And so I said, okay, see how that happens. But 44 days after the injury, my legs came back to me. And after 2 years of a lot of work and work with my PTs, I was able to walk kind of very, very, very slowly, but walk. Totally unexpected. Oh, then it was like, as time went on, I wasn't getting any better. And I started to kind of resent my cane, like, how could it be so slow? Then I thought, I should look again. I should look again. What else? Never been good at baseball, but maybe. Out of the park! In the pocket. Yeah. Nothing out there. And I looked at this key and it's got holes in it. I thought, I wonder if it could be something else. It's got holes in it. Maybe you could do something else. See? Oh. The soloist came secretly musical. Thank you so much. It's been so wonderful to be with you, and I hope you keep looking and keep laughing. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Hey G, as one of our youth WASA athletes, I want to thank you for interviewing with me for Ability Fest USA. First off, can you tell me a little bit about yourself, your age, your disability, where you're from?
My age is 12. My name is Gianni Quintero. I'm gonna say that the first time. And my disability is a left leg paralysis, or real paralysis in the left leg.
Okay, were you born with that paralysis?
No.
Okay.
I got it when I was 6 years old.
Wow. Okay, so you started walking when you were probably like 1 or 2, and then until 6, then you had some difficulties. Very interesting.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So now knowing a little bit about you, that you weren't born with your disability, but you acquired it. So then tell me how your adaptive sports is like. So what are you interested in? What do you participate in?
I participate in wheelchair basketball.
Mhm.
I play for the Milwaukee Wheelchair Bucks. And
Woo!
yeah.
Awesome. And then how were you introduced to the WASA Wheelchair Bucks?
My parents found like a website
Mhm.
and they went onto it. They looked like they did like research about wheelchair sports and everything. And I went to a wheelchair basketball practice and I just loved it from then on.
That's awesome. So you loved it the first day. So then why did you continue to participate?
Because I thought it was fun and it's pretty cool how like people like me, like disabled people,
Mhm.
they could play different sports. Like that other people who can use their legs, both of them
Yeah,
can't. And
absolutely.
can.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome. So you've only seen able-bodied sports, right? And then getting into a gym and seeing that you have sports for someone like you and there's other kids like you, that's awesome. Very cool. Um, how has being in adaptive sports impacted your overall health, whether it be physical or mental or social?
um it has affected my social life by like I could tell my family that like I've done such and such,
Hmm.
or I can do like a certain thing when I can't do how I can do it and how I can't do it and all that.
That's awesome. So do you feel like a different sense of pride participating in adaptive sports?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Very
Yeah.
cool. Okay. The next question is, what is the most impactful part of participating in adaptive sports? So what is like the most awesome, bomb thing about it for you?
Um Mainly that I can play a sport with people that have disabilities like me, and it's like fun to relate to them
Yeah.
and like talk to them like there's different people out there that are like me.
Yeah, definitely. Especially because have you been exposed to a lot of other people like you within your school or at home or things like that?
No.
Very cool.
No.
Very cool. Um, so then with being around others like yourself and then participating in sports, what like growth and independence has adaptive sports help you with?
It has helped me know what, like, for being independent, it can kind of tell me what I can and can't do.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know, like maybe like doing a certain thing, like let's just say sprinting. I could sprint in the wheelchair, but without the wheelchair, I can't sprint. I mean, I can, but it's a little bit harder.
Yep, a little different. Very good.
Yeah.
So can I throw it out there that you're maybe realizing that there's a lot more you can do because of adaptive sports rather than can't do?
Yes.
That's awesome to hear. Good. Awesome. Do you have like a moment in particular that was like very memorable for you that you can always look back and be like, wow, that one time?
Winning nationals, or yeah, winning first place nationals, and that was actually pretty cool because it was my second year playing with them. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That's incredible. Only being on the team for 2 years and already winning a national championship. Holy cow. Where was that tournament?
In Kentucky.
You got to
Yeah,
go all the way to
Louisville,
Kentucky to participate and compete?
Yeah,
That's
it was pretty fun.
very cool. So you can play at practices and be recreational, right? But then there's also a big part for you to compete competitively with other kids like yourself.
Yes.
Very cool. How long is your typical wheelchair basketball season?
Um, I I don't really know, like maybe
Like, is it
few
like a
months
typical
or two.
season? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like a typical
like a
season. Do
few
you have
months.
more than just one competition and tournament, or do you have multiple a year during a normal year?
Sometimes multiple a year,
Awesome.
but
Very cool.
yeah, most of the time, all the time, it's multiple a year.
That's awesome. Very good. What so I know you said for your relationships, how adaptive sports has helped you is that you're able to tell your family what you can do and talk about your sport. Is there anything else about adaptive sports that has been able to help relationships or build relationships within your family or your friends?
Mm, yeah, because then like let's say one of my friends plays basketball at my school or something.
Mhm.
I could tell them that I play basketball too, and like talk back and forth between different things that we do and different things that we don't do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Is anyone able to play with you even if they don't have a disability?
Yes. Yes. Actually, my dad, he got an extra chair
Mhm.
from our coach, and he plays with me from time to time.
That's
Like he
super
takes me out to different parks, and we just play together in the chairs.
That's so cool. So even though this is a sport for you, it's something that you and your dad can still share and do together.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome to hear. Good job, Jean. Um, let's see. What is a challenge that you have to overcome while participating in wheelchair basketball?
Um, Fear. Like sometimes people get scared. Like, oh no, like they're gonna like. I don't know how to explain this, but like they get scared and they don't think that they could do that thing, like play basketball.
Hmm.
They don't think that they could go on the court and do that.
Yeah. And then you feel like you feel like you've overcome that fear, or are you able to get on the court no problem?
Yes, yes. No,
That's,
some people still have that fear.
yeah. Very cool. I'm sure you help them along the way, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Is there anyone special that has helped you or mentored you along the way?
Yes. My coach, his name is Jordan Wilkins. He is like I said, he's our basketball coach. He coaches us, makes us better, pushes us harder. Yeah.
Good. Sounds like a good coach to me. Okay, last question, G. Why should others get involved in adaptive sports, whether it be wheelchair basketball or a different sport?
Because, well, some people they just think, oh, I'm like, let's just say paralyzed. Like, I'm paralyzed. What can I do? I can't really do anything.
Right.
They could just search something, be like, what are sports that I could play with a disability? And like they come play wheelchair basketball, or they have different sports like softball,
Mm-hmm.
or softball. They have a lot more other sports
Yeah, the list can go
to
on, right?
play.
Good. Awesome. So I guess just hearing that there's things out there that you can do, you can participate in, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Was there anything else you felt like you needed to share or say before we wrapped up this interview?
No, not really. Just stay well in these times.
Very good. Thank you, G. I appreciate you taking the time.
You're welcome.
Bye.